One way you can speed up your healing from an anxious attachment style is by looking deeper into yourself and introspecting why you have that anxious attachment style in the first place. Now, if I had one word to describe myself, I would say curious. I'm curious about how stuff works. I'm curious about why I have an anxious attachment style. And in this video, my guarantee to you is that I will give you the same blueprint that I use in order to dig deeper into myself, into my thoughts, into certain situations and certain events that happen in my life, and get data of why I felt that way. It's going to help you when you are in an anxious situation. It's going to help you when you feel anxious and you have anxious thoughts and you don't know what to do. You are in what I call a clueless phase where you're just going through life in this frozen state and you don't really know what to do. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it. When I was in my clueless phase, this is what I call I don't know what to do. I have anxious thoughts. I feel very anxious. I have symptoms of anxiety. I feel a loss of appetite, a loss of motivation. And I'm basically in this frozen state of I don't know what to do, you know? And when I was in that phase, what I would do is I would research a lot about how I can move forward with the situation, how I can not be stuck where I'm at. And one of the things that I found is instead of looking at the next thing to do, instead of looking outside of what needs to be done, you need to instead turn your eyes inside or turn the view to yourself internally and see that instead of looking for the solution outside, the solution really exists inside of you. And the reason why you're looking for the solution outside is because the solution inside of you is so difficult to look at. It reminds you of all the tough times that you had went through, and your brain wants to forget that tough time because it was so overbearing to deal at that time. When you went through a certain event or certain situation that you classify as being traumatic or having changed your brain or your nervous system, that exact situation can give you the keys to heal how you feel moving forward. So this is something that I've learned from a guy called Julian himself. I've listened to this guy's podcast on Spotify and it's like really, really top tier stuff, right? So what he said was, instead of looking at what now, instead of looking at the things that you can do, for example, exercise and diet and discipline, and you can work out every day and you can meditate, those are all good things. But it can only get you to a certain point where you are now coping with anxiety. You are using those things to cope with your anxiety instead of actually addressing your anxiety. The way you actually address your anxiety is by asking yourself why, is by shifting that paradigm of what now, what can I do now, to why am I feeling this way? What is causing me to feel this way? Why am I feeling this way? And what you're essentially doing by asking why is you are looking at your subconscious, which is you're not really aware of it in your conscious mind. Now, what you're conscious of is you're conscious of my voice, you're conscious of the video on the screen, you're conscious of everything around you, but you're subconsciously suppressing certain feelings and certain things in your life that may be too difficult to deal with in the current moment. They just feel so overbearing. One of the ways that you can actually deal with them is by using prompts, which I'd like to call shadow questions. By using shadow questions, and I'm going to explain what that means. By using shadow questions, you can dig deeper into your own life. You can dig deeper into your own interpretation of life. Instead of looking at what other people view life as, you can spend the whole day on the internet and see what this guy's opinions and these guys and that guy and this guy. But what do you think? You've lived your life for however many years that you've lived it. What do you think of life? And shadow questions, which I would like for you to ask yourself, whether on a piece of paper or you just create like a voice note, is ask yourself questions which seem very obvious, but instead of having the correct answer, what society will deem as the right answer, give me the real answer. Give me what you think about it. Now, these questions could include, why am I not good enough? Why is success not for me? Now, you may look at these questions and be like, yo, what do you mean? I am good enough. I do deserve success. But I know that you deserve success and you are good enough. But is there a part of you that does not believe that? Is there a little part of you that does not believe that? And if that is the case, why don't you write about it? Why don't you express that part? Because you've been suppressing that part your whole life. Why don't you allow it to express itself? Why don't you dig deeper into yourself? Because once you answer these difficult, tough questions that you feel this internal cringe of answering them, that's when you get a taste of what freedom looks like. And by freedom, I don't mean true freedom as in, oh, nothing can hurt me anymore and stuff like that. I'm talking about you're not afraid of what you might be hiding in your thoughts anymore. And you're able to accept that and forgive yourself for whatever you've been through. So to summarize what I've been saying in this whole video is to understand that instead of looking at the next thing that you can do to solve your internal state, and that could be binging food, that could be playing video games, that could be hanging out with friends who you call friends but they're not really your friends, that could be drinking, that could be smoking or vaping or whatever else that you do. It might be watching Netflix or something and just mindlessly consuming it instead of looking at what's actually hurting you. And you can see these signs through your body as well. You can see your body getting weaker and weaker over time. And it's not due to your aging. It's because your mind is corrupting your body. And instead of looking at what thing you can do next, try digging deeper into yourself. Instead of focusing outwards, focus inwards and focus on using these questions and asking yourself the same questions and digging deeper into yourself with real answers, not the right answers that society wants to tell you. Once you have those answers, you can be more open with yourself, more authentic, more honest. How can you be authentic with the world and with your partner and with your family and with your friends if you can't be authentic with yourself? So with that being said, I hope this video helped you. If it did, please be sure to drop a like, drop a subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.